Nicole Wallace. And Nicole, walk us through what you think the White House thought process might have been. We've gone 2 weekend days without the usual daily briefing, and absent whatever public education comes from the coronavirus task force news conference every day, are they engaging in a fiction that perhaps a different Donald Trump is going to show up in the format of a news conference today?
Well, all that they have is the fiction. There is no thought process. There is no strategy session. There is no staff in the traditional sense of a White House staff. There is Donald Trump and the reflection of himself in cable news coverage. And it's not clear that he reads a lot of print coverage, but he sees clips of print coverage as they're discussed in cable news coverage and on social media. So that is what navigates every single decision, every single public utterance, and every move by this White House. And notable to me is that they still haven't used that room, the White House briefing room or the Rose Garden, rooms from which wars have been declared and ended, rooms where really momentous decisions have been made. And it was a room like that in which the president of our country told people to ingest bleach. They haven't used any of those stately rooms that connote importance and tell the viewer to listen to say, don't do that. So they haven't corrected the harm they did, not just to the listening public, but to the president. So everything they do is sort of a feeble attempt to keep digging out of the hole they put the president in, or the president put himself in. But I really think their conduct over the weekend shows that they don't have any influence with him. Because if he just walked in and said, listen, I made a mistake, and for that reason, I'm going to leave the dispensing of medical advice to my advisors, he would go a long way toward repairing his reputation. But he's just, as they say, still digging. And it's not the first time. We've seen plenty of mixed messages from the White House when it comes to the coronavirus pandemic. Over the weekend, Vice President Mike Pence told Geraldo that the epidemic could soon be behind us. But on Meet the Press, coronavirus response coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx said we're going to need to practice social distancing for months. Take a listen.
I think, honestly, if you look at the trends today, that I think by Memorial Day weekend, we will largely have this coronavirus epidemic behind us.
I think he means that in the models and in tracking our actual data, because previously we were using models based on data from around the world, and now we're very much tracking every single outbreak in the United States separately. Social distancing will be with us through the summer to really ensure that we protect one another as we move through these phases.
Joining our conversation, Dr. Patrice Harris, president of the American Medical Association, and Eugene Robinson, Washington Post columnist and an MSNBC political analyst. Dr. Harris, I want to start with you. And just for anyone watching, what should we be doing right now? Where are we? What is advice that everyone can still take? Because I think, frankly, whether you like Trump or distrust Trump, you're a little confused about what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, Nicole, I think you're right. And we haven't been talking enough about public confidence and trust. We are going to need that as we navigate our way through this pandemic. That requires health leaders being out in front on this. It requires a public health focus, and it requires all elected officials to really affirm the science and the evidence. And it requires the commitment of the public as well to do as they have been doing and to stay focused. We are going to get through this, but right now we need to maintain physical distancing, avoid crowds, and wear masks in